This is a phone call, Joe. Should I get it? President Obama, thanks for calling. Yeah, I voted for you twice. Johnny, it's Jay. What's going on, man? They're actually doing an interview with me on SNY about my historical life. Where were we?
For most Mets fans, Jay Horwitz needs no introduction. For the past 34 years, the club's vice president of media relations has become part of the Mets culture. His days filled with phone calls,
Hi, it's Jay.
media requests,
I mean, I just got to let him do his thing before I go up there.
and a great deal of laughter. The soft-spoken Horwitz has played the role of Mets media liaison since being hired early in 1980. Handling interview requests, public appearances, and updates pertaining to the team. But the 67-year-old Horwitz doesn't stop there, going above and beyond for every single player who wears a Mets uniform.
I've never heard not one person that I've talked to that ever played for the Mets ever had a bad thing to say about Jay. And that says a lot when you can't find one person that has a bad thing to say about an individual. And I think that's just who he is.
You're looking at 34 years dealing with the New York media, and has complete respect of every one of those guys. He is so respected in the game. You know, when Major League Baseball asks you to attend every World Series to be a part of it, asks you to come to every All-Star game, you know, that tells you how respected he is throughout baseball.
Hey, just give me a hug, all right?
While the current group of players value Horwitz, they're certainly not alone. Since taking the job back in 1980, Jay has been making lifelong friends by doing his job in a style that can only be described as unique.
We won 2 games in a row with these stupid sneakers on, so I'm putting these sneakers on again.
There is nobody in the game like Jay. I love him to death. I think he is a great person, do anything for you. But just his little quirks, or, you know, if you would tell him something, he'd write it down on a little piece of paper that you knew was going to get lost, you know, by the time you had to tell him the second time.
I just want to have him one day empty out all his pockets, and he's probably got something from the Roosevelt administration still in there, and a phone number. But the thing is that filing system within the Jay Horwitz pockets is tighter than the most secure computer in the world. So I love the guy, as is everybody else, and he's fun to play with.
We'd always play a lot of pranks on Jay. I'd always pull his shirt out, untuck his shirt, and then maybe put some baby powder in his back pocket, do stuff like that, and then smack him in the ass.
We used to color his glasses while he slept on the plane with black Sharpie. We used to cut his ties. We used to put ice cream sandwich and ice cream pops in his pocket so they melt by the time we got to the hotel. We put eye black around his binoculars so when he looked up and he came back, he looked like a raccoon. And there were so many other things that we did, but those are the ones I can say now.
You know, Jay's always been there for me. He's always had my back no matter what. He and I have become very close the last 10 years or so and consider him a great friend.
On a typical game day, Horwitz arrives at the ballpark around 6 a.m. and usually doesn't leave until after midnight. According to the Clifton, New Jersey native, that works out just fine, considering the fact that he's unable to sleep for more than 5 hours at a time. But one thing Horwitz is capable of is making unwanted phone calls, commonly known as butt dialing, something that made the Mets PR man a bit of a media sensation during spring training for all the wrong reasons.
I've been doing it for years, to be honest with you. I'm very careless with my phone. I don't lock it. And the thing I don't understand about the butt dialing, I butt dial people I never speak to, which is kind of crazy. Like, I butt dialed Ramon Ramirez about 20 times, and I think I've spoken to Ramon about once when we got him in a trade.
For someone who struggles with modern technology, it came as no surprise that Horwitz didn't embrace the idea of Twitter. That was until earlier this year, when Mets COO Jeff Wilpon decided it was time for Jay to embrace the social age of multimedia.
He said, listen, be yourself and just, tweet about your experiences. And he was great that one day he came in and said, listen, if you can get to 10,000, now I'm going to start to cry again, so give me a second. He said, if you can get to 10,000 followers, we're going to donate $10,000 to your favorite charity. My favorite charity is for Shannon, who's been working for 18 years, who has breast cancer, and all the players chipped in. We got to 11,000 followers by 11 o'clock, and the next 2 days later, Jeff wrote out a check for $10,000 to Hope Shines for Shannon for the Mets Foundation.
I'm at a loss for words to describe what he means to me, because it is I just can't even do that. He's got the biggest heart, the most giving person in the world, whether it's work or personally. You just want to give back.
Horwitz, who has been called the Cal Ripken of media relations, once went 21 straight years without missing a game before breaking his ankle in 2011. But with that dedication comes a great deal of sacrifice.
Probably didn't get married. You know, I wish I could, but I came close a couple of times. Well, close, maybe once. It was always me or the job, and I always stick to job. I love what I'm doing, but if I had to do over again, I maybe might have made a couple of different decisions along the way. But I'm more than happy what I'm doing now.
Jay Horwitz is the Mets organization in my eyes. Anybody in baseball that knows anything about baseball as a big leaguer and the way things happen, they know Jay Horwitz.
Jay's probably one of my best friends, and he's a great guy, and he has been an asset to this organization for a number of years.
The Mets are Jay's life, and you know, as a fan, he loves his New York Football Giants, but his family is the New York Mets. All the players that have come through here know Jay, love Jay. I know him as someone that if I asked him to do something tomorrow, he would do it for me, and there's very few people like that. Jay's one of those.
That didn't really go well.